Victim coming out, victim coming out.
The fire ground is dynamic. Priorities can change by the second. This series is about our first priority, life priority. We'll hear from the firefighters that have made a grab in live fire conditions, the decisions they made and the lessons they learned. Listen as they tell you about their experience, learn from their mistakes and their successes. Expect fire and expect victims. Expect the unexpected and plan accordingly. This is Life Priority. All right, Engineer Galladay, thanks for sitting down with us for the Life Priority series. If you can go ahead and tell us about your grab.
All right. So I was working Engine 103 as an engineer. It was approximately 2018 or 2019, I forget. Christmas Eve, or actually Christmas morning. I think the call came in about around midnight or so for a structure fire in 20s. So 20s first on scene with fire attack, 17s also, or second on scene doing fire attack. 101 was third due, they supplied engine 20, and then we were fourth due engine, and we arrived and assisted 17s. The trucks were already there, I believe Rescue 20 was already there. We had to park probably 75 yards away from the house, so we had a long haul to meet up with 17. Grabbed our gear, touched base with 17s, and I said, what do you need? So I already have my own supply. As we were walking down the driveway, I hear we have a victim coming out the alpha side, which I was confused on because I didn't know if 20s was on the alpha side or if we were on the alpha side. That wasn't established yet of who was on the alpha side. So engine 17's crew, I believe, was bringing a victim out the alpha side, which ended up being the side that we were on. So basically, before we even get eyes on this house, really, we're already doing patient care with someone coming out the front. Load him in the back real quick and noticed that the patient was actually breathing and somewhat conscious. So by the time I made it back to the house after that, the 17's crew, I might be wrong on which crew it was, but I believe it was the 17's crew. They were making a push down the hallway, knocking out fire in the bedroom area and trying to get access to the attic because it was heavily involved in the attic. 17's Viber alerts were going off, so they were backing out of the hallway and down this breezeway where my crew intercepted them. They kind of gave us like a 5 to 10 second passover of what they had, and it was very tight. It's kind of hard to explain, but it was a very tight breezeway we were in. I mean, it's like you could barely have two people walk by each other in there. So no trucks were already searching, or at least one truck crew was already searching. I believe it was Rescue 20. Due to all the bottlenecking and this kind of exchange between our two crews, I decided to go out and to look for some better access. So I go outside real quick, which is only about 10 feet away from where I was prior to this. I found some French doors. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm just gonna open these French doors, see if I can clear some smoke out of this room and possibly search it and then get better access. I start attacking the French doors with the irons, and I believe it was a Rescue 20 crew said, don't worry about forcing that French door. There's a bunch of stuff in front of it, and we already searched that room. So I said, okay, well, they're still bottlenecked over there because I can still see them. I'm just going to continue. So I force entry, open the French doors, probably smoke, I don't know, chest level, relieved a lot of it and brought it up maybe a foot or two. And there was a huge, like a file cabinet and a dresser that was like right in front of these doors. So immediately I opened the doors and I have access issues still. So I was able to kind of piece apart these units and throw them on the lawn essentially and made access. At this time, the smoke's actually getting significantly better. I hit the left wall real quick to see which was the closest way to my crew, to see if I could have a better access for them. And as I hit that left wall, I realized, yeah, there's no doors here. That's going to give us any access. Come back around. I'm going to exit the French doors and come back out and just go meet up with them. And I'm like, you know what? I was already in there. I might as well search it. Better smoke conditions. So I went on the right wall and made one corner and saw a bed. And by the way, this is pretty heavy hoarder conditions. There's just stuff all over the place. So I look over the bed and there's clothes everywhere, and I just happened to see what appeared to be hair. So as I looked over the bed, so I jumped on the bed, looked on the side, moved some clothes around, and saw what was the victim. Immediately I knew that it was gonna be tough to get him out from where he was because of all the stuff that I had to, obstacles I went over. So I hit on the radio real quick. I said I had a victim in the alpha side of the structure, and what appeared to be a bedroom. I still didn't know if it was a bedroom or not. It looked more like a living room with beds in there. Thankfully, one of the crew members of Rescue 20 was like right by the French doors or another window. It heard me. So he went and got his crew. And by the time I was able to get over the bed, get the stuff off him, get him picked up in a sitting position, the Rescue 20 guys hopped over there and helped me pull him out. So we probably had a 15 to 20 foot drag out the French doors. And at that point in time, the conditions in the room were light to moderate smoke at most, very low heat, and the survivability I thought was pretty high for him. We were able to, at this point in time, it's of course raining really hard, so we didn't have a ambulance crew there yet because I believe they were on the other side of the house working with the other crews making fire attack. We had a little bit of a delay with the medic crew, so we're kind of like, well, we should start CPR here on the lawn, but it's just like wet, muddy mess. So we ended up bringing them to engine 17 where we had some asphalt to work on. I think we did like maybe one round of CPR on the guy, and then the medic crew pulled up. We put him on the gurney and transported him. But on a side note with this, there was another rescue on this. I don't remember which crew it was, but shortly after this, another crew, I believe, I'm not sure what truck it was, but I know they brought another victim out of the opposite corner and transported them. I know that there's a total of 3 grabs on this fire, and I know one for sure made it. The 2, I don't know. I'm assuming they did not. That's the last I heard, was that they didn't. So I didn't get any other feedback from anyone. There was also a mayday on this fire. So within the first 10 minutes of being on this fire, we have 3 rescues and a mayday.
Yeah, it seems like a lot going on with this one. What were some of your personal, takeaways from this?
The biggest thing is for me was, even if someone hits a primary, it doesn't mean that it's been fully searched. That's a perfect example that they said it was searched, but clearly it hadn't been fully searched. I don't know if that would even been considered a secondary. It was still more of a primary. Who knows if that was even searched by them or not. I'm definitely a believer in that buildings need to be searched, like hasty search with, fire conditions or heavy smoke conditions, but they need to be done thoroughly with better conditions for visibility reasons and other reasons. But I feel like the secondaries are really important because that guy got missed if that room was searched, and there was stuff on him that was covering him up, but it was pretty distinguishable to know that he was there by walking right by the bed. So yeah, I think between city and metro, we worked together pretty well on this. The city crews did a really good job making a heavy push on this, like offensively. Obviously this is before it went defensive. They made a pretty aggressive push on this fire. The truck crews that were there first were doing aggressive searches. I think that just the layout of this house made it extremely difficult for them to do a quick, effective search of the entire building on their own. They did a really good job. They searched a lot of this building prior to us getting there, and I think that they probably thought they did search this room. If they did, it was just there's too many rooms, too many unique spaces for them to probably keep track of what they have searched in that short amount of time. So they did a great job searching majority of this place before we even punched on scene. You know, and then the fire attack crew did a pretty good job of keeping it in check and giving us a rundown of where it was and where they thought it was going. So I think we worked together pretty well on it. And you know, it was nice to know, you know, because my first attempt of getting on the radio saying there was another victim located, I'm not sure if it got out over the air or not. I don't know if I got cut off by someone or not. But you know, kudos to them. They heard it, either my voice in the room or they caught it on the radio. But they were, you know, Johnny on the spot right there, helping me get him out quickly and effectively. So I think we all worked pretty well together, considering the circumstances given.
All right, Bastian, well, thanks for sitting down with us. Is there anything else?
No, appreciate the interview and thank you.
Fire service is about tradition. One of our traditions is about passing on our experiences and our lessons learned. When we do this, the story doesn't focus on the individual, but the team and the outcome. These lessons are shared so that you can better serve the public and your fellow firefighters. If you have a rescue and you're hesitant to tell your story, remember, the lessons you share may help save someone else's life or your own. Share your story by contacting us at lifepriority@metrofire.ca.gov.